Welcome back. Tonight, I have 3 true scary stories for you, stories you won't easily forget. Lock your doors, turn off the lights, and listen closely. My name is Sarah, and I'm 28 years old. As a night shift nurse at a small-town hospital, I expected the usual eerie silence, but I never prepared for the whispers that would flutter through the darkened hallways. It was a typical Friday night. The grim glow of fluorescent lights hummed above me while I ticked off my checklist. The ER was quiet, except for the occasional beep of a heart monitor. My first hour dragged on until the smell of antiseptic mixed with the odd scent of something rotten wafted through the corridor. A chill ran down my spine, but I brushed it off, thinking it was the draft from a slightly open window. Midway through my shift, I began to hear whispers, soft and unintelligible, like a haunting lullaby. At first, I dismissed it as my imagination. After all, working alone at night can play tricks on your mind, but then, during my rounds, it intensified. "Sarah, help us," the voice urged, sending shivers through my body. I followed the sound to room 5, which had been vacant since the last patient was discharged. The room's door creaked open as I approached, revealing an unoccupied bed. Just then, the whispers grew louder, almost frantic. "Please!" My heart raced. I turned to flee, but the door slammed shut behind me. Struggling to pull it open, I felt a cold hand grip my shoulder. I spun around, only to find myself staring into the drooping eyes of a pale figure that faded into shadows. In a panic, I finally yanked open the door, only to find my supervisor standing there, a concerned look plastered on her face. "Are you all right, Sarah? You've been in there for hours." My hands trembled as I realized I had lost track of time and had never actually entered room 5. The next day, when I returned to work, I learned that room 5 had been the site of a tragic accident. A patient had died there 6 months prior. I never worked the night shift again. Some shadows should not be disturbed. I'm Daniel, 35 years old, and I used to think that the scariest sounds were those in horror films. That was before I heard the clock strike 12, echoing through the office where I worked my lonely night shift. On that fateful night, the clock stood at 11:59 p.m. I was buried in papers, creating reports no one would read until morning. The fluorescent lights flickered ominously as the clock's minute hand finally moved. As it struck midnight, an unsettling silence enveloped the room. I glanced up, noticing the temperature had dropped drastically. The air felt heavy, suffocating almost, as if something sinister lurked just beyond the walls. Suddenly, I heard the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoing in the empty hallway. My heart sank. Curiosity got the better of me. I stood up and cautiously made my way down the corridor. The footsteps stopped abruptly when I reached the lobby. I looked around, but no one was there. Just as I turned to go back, a shrill laugh pierced the silence, echoing back from the dark corners of the office. I rushed back to my desk, desperate to shake off the feeling of being watched. Yet every clock in the office was blinking 12:00, as if time had frozen. Suddenly, a message appeared on my computer screen. "Tick-tock, Daniel. Time's running out." My fingers fumbled over the keyboard as I tried to shut it down, but the screen flashed images of past employees who had met unfortunate ends during night shifts. Just as I felt I would lose my sanity, the clock chimed once more, returning me to my desk with no time passed. I soon realized that the office was a cursed space for anyone working after dark. I quit my job the next day, unable to shake the feeling of time's relentless grip. My name is Mia, 24 years old, and I thought working the night shift at the library would be peaceful, until the uninvited visitor changed everything. The library had always been a haven for me, a world away from reality. On this particular quiet night, I was organizing the new arrivals when I felt a chill run through the aisles. Glancing toward the entrance, the doors remained closed. Still, the sensation of being watched loomed heavily over me. An hour passed, and silence settled so deep I could almost hear my heartbeat. That's when I noticed books falling off the shelves, one by one, their pages rustling as if they were whispering secrets. I stood frozen, clutching my flashlight, heart racing. As I approached to fix the books, the lights flickered, casting long shadows across the floor. "Mia," a soft voice called from behind the stacks. "Help me." I turned, ready to run, but stopped myself, curiosity overtaking fear. "Who's there?" I called, my voice trembling against the oppressive darkness. No answer came, only the rustle of pages turning. I crept closer, shining my light into the abyss between the bookshelves. What I found wasn't a person, but a dark silhouette of a woman, her face obscured. "I need to escape, and you can help me," she pleaded. Fear washed over me. I stumbled backward, horrified. With one final flicker of light, the figure vanished, leaving behind one singular book titled The Forgotten Souls of the Library. I learned later that the book held the tragic stories of those who had entered the library but never left. From that night on, I left the library quickly after my shift, knowing that some readers might just be looking for a way to stay forever. If you enjoyed these true, scary stories, consider subscribing for more real horror experiences. And don't forget to stay alert, because the next story might just happen to you.